At the beginning of the movie, we see Emma taking a dog deep into the woods. There, she brutally stabs it to death with her knife and buries its body in the ground. This disturbing scene immediately suggests that Emma is a psychopath. In the next scene, we learn that after her father's death, Emma was adopted by her aunt, Angela. At Angela's house, we also see her husband, Robert, and her baby. Inside this house, Emma begins practicing how to be a normal teenager, sitting in front of a mirror, because in reality, we know she is not a normal teenager at all. She is a psychopath who practices every day to appear innocent in front of others. While she's still practicing, Angela enters her room and asks, "How do I look today?" Angela was actually resuming her work after a long time. Emma compliments her and wishes her good luck, after which Angela tells her, "Come down quickly, Uncle is making breakfast for us all." For some reason, Emma didn't like the change, and she even told Robert, "I really enjoy it when Angela and I are together." Robert didn't pay much attention to her words, and Angela dropped Emma off at her school. On the way, Angela had given Emma a boarding school presentation. She told Emma, "You might consider it. This boarding school is great for your career. You'll see a lot of progress there, and I also think you should move to a boarding school. This isn't my idea, it's Robert's." Angela's remark marked the day Emma began to resent Robert. Robert, in fact, tried to change everything Emma thought and wanted, and all of this was Emma's thoughts, though Robert was doing his best for her. We see Emma at school. Everyone liked her there and she performed very well. Today, a new girl named Kat joins Emma's class. Emma also had a best friend in the same class, and we learn that Emma's mother and her best friend's mother are also good friends. Then we see all the girls practicing dance for a party. During this dance practice, everyone was trying their best. However, Emma's performance was not very good, while Emma's best friend, Stephen, was performing the best. Therefore, the instructor asks Steph to perform in front and encourages Emma to practice more. There was nothing wrong with this, but Emma didn't like her friend's advancement. Angered, she returns home to find her uncle in a business meeting. While their son was trying to crawl towards the pool, even after seeing him, Emma makes no attempt to save him. Instead, she opened the latch door just enough for him to climb out easily. She even placed some candy near the pool so that when the boy reached for it, he would fall into the water. After doing all this, she calmly went upstairs as if she hadn't seen anything wrong. Standing in her room upstairs, she waited for the child to fall into the water. But just then Angela arrived, failing her entire plan. Angela saved her son, and for now, only a fight broke out between Angela and Robert. Well, that was good. In fact, she was trying to hurt Robert. Robert apologizes to Angela, calms her and sends her back inside. Then he also spots a candy lying near the pool that he hadn't bought, which makes Robert start suspecting Emma. Meanwhile, Emma secretly sneaks into the kitchen and adds a lot of salt to the soup Robert made. The soup becomes undrinkable, and Emma casually suggests that they order Chinese food instead. Emma's words confirm for Robert that she was the one who added the salt, as she had benefited from the results. Her favorite food was now coming home. The next day at school, Emma approaches Kat and asks her to join their group. Kat refuses, telling Emma, "Go somewhere else and act out your decency in front of me." This angers Emma, but she doesn't show it. At home, Robert finds his knife, which had been missing for several days, in Emma's drawer. Robert now understands that Emma needs to move away from their home soon, so he contacts a boarding school and gets Emma admitted there. As soon as Emma returns home, Angela and Robert happily inform her that she has been admitted to a school that is everyone's dream. Emma is furious inside, filled with anger, but in front of Robert and Angela, she pretends to be very happy and excited. After which she goes to her room, buries her head in the pillow and screams loudly, releasing all her frustration and exhaustion. Afterward, she calms herself down and sits in front of the mirror, practicing being a decent girl. At night, Emma has strange dreams. Everything she did in her past life, including murdering her father, her friend, and one of her teachers, appears to her in her dreams, and yet she doesn't wake up scared. Instead, she wakes up feeling happy and excited, as if she doesn't feel any guilt about doing this, but rather she's happy to have done it. The next day at school, Kat sits next to Emma's group. Emma's other friends treat her kindly and ask her about her old school. Kat reveals that she came from Emma's old school, a fact that shocks Emma. She also expresses her regret about her father's death, but Emma doesn't show her emotions. Emma's friends develop a stronger bond with Kat, and they even invite her to their party without asking Emma, a move that upsets Emma again. When she comes home that day, Angela isn't there. Robert is in the kitchen cooking dinner for everyone. Just then his phone rings. He tells Emma to watch over the food and goes to answer the call. Instead of watching the food, Emma pours too much oil into the pan, causing it to catch fire. After this, she runs away. Then when the fire alarms go off in the house, Emma comes out acting as if she's unaware. Angela is furious at Robert, asking him how he could be so careless. Robert, who was trying to put out the fire, sees Emma come to him and start extinguishing it. Robert tells Angela the truth. It's all Emma's fault. I told Emma to take care of it, he says. Emma replies, I went to the washroom, didn't I? It's the first time she's ever made such a mistake, which makes everyone start suspecting her. This puts Emma in a very dangerous position. If she wants to maintain her image of being good, she now has to prove herself innocent again. So she takes juice to Robert and, acting like a gentleman, apologizes and admits her mistake, saying, Yes, you told me to be careful, I shouldn't have gone to the washroom. Robert appreciates her gesture and forgives her. A short while later, the garage lights suddenly go out and the car Robert was working on suddenly malfunctions, causing the car to fall on him, crushing him. He was in agony. He cried out for help, but apparently no one was around. Just then, Emma passes by while whistling. He realizes that Emma was the mastermind behind all this, and Emma wasn't worried because she knew he would die in no time. When Robert doesn't return to his room for a long time, Angela comes to check on him and he is rescued. Robert's condition was very serious, with no chance of recovery. Here we see Emma, who had come to a party at her friend's house. She was happy that upon leaving she would receive news of Robert's death. She was happily enjoying herself, but Kat ruined all her happiness. She discussed her past life and even hinted that Emma was a killer. She forced everyone to ask Emma how her father died, and before anyone could do so, Emma's friend's mother told her about Robert's accident, and she used this as an excuse to run away to the hospital. When she saw Robert alive in the hospital, she became so furious that she completely lost control and strangled him to death. However, her anger faded when her grieving Aunt Angela told her about Robert's condition and mentioned that the doctors had already lost hope. They believed Robert would never wake up from his coma, and if he wakes up, he'll die. Emma goes home and starts cleaning up Robert's blood from the garage, as the sight of it makes her even angrier. Meanwhile, she receives a message from one of her classmates asking about him. Since Emma wasn't a normal girl, she couldn't even think of a normal response. She turns to Google to respond. Meanwhile, in the hospital, we see Robert again, whose condition, instead of worsening, is surprisingly improving. He even regains consciousness during the night, and Angela is incredibly excited to see him. Upon regaining consciousness, Robert wants to tell her something, so Angela gives him a marker and paper to write on, and Robert writes Emma on it. Emma wasn't aware of these things. Her main concern was the upcoming dance competition at her school, where she was certain Stephanie would be selected. So she decides to do something to prevent Stephanie from coming to the audition. She goes to Stephanie's house, steals her beloved dog, takes it to the woods and kills it. This is the same scene where the movie began. She knew Stephanie was very attached to her dog and that it would prevent her from coming to school. However, upon reaching the school, she receives another shock. All the teachers and judges had already made their decision and had no intention of holding auditions. Everyone already knew that Stephanie was a very good dancer. Therefore, Stephanie is selected again, thus Emma's plan fails. Upon returning home, she gets another shock when she finds out that Robert has recovered and has been brought back home. However, she has to control her emotions. Therefore, she goes to welcome Robert, pretending to be worried about him. She also gives Robert a bell, promising him that he could ring it if he needed anything, but she knew she would never hear it herself. In the course of conversation, she asks Robert about the accident that day, and is thankful to learn that Robert had no memory of Emma, nor had he seen her there before the accident. Emma's life continues as usual and Kat meets Emma at school. She tells Emma, "If you change schools, if you change cities, won't we know who you are? I know about your past and your present. All the crazy things happening around us right now aren't fate. You're the one doing it, I know. You're somehow responsible for your uncle's accident and you're also behind Stephanie's dog missing." Emma was furious with her, but then Emma sees teachers approaching from behind. Denying all her guilt, she forces Kat to slap her. As soon as Kat slaps her, she begins acting as if she's the victim. Consequently, the teachers come to Emma's aid and scold Kat, but Emma knows this won't prevent the danger. Kat, who had confessed all her crimes to her face, could have told anyone else. So she goes home and complains to Angela about Kat, and through her, gets Kat expelled from school. Back at the office, Stephanie's mom tells Angela that the CCTV footage shows a young girl taking Stephanie's dog. But who is she? We can't identify her. Angela watches the video and immediately recognizes it's Emma. However, she doesn't share anything with her friend at this time. Even at school, Emma wasn't holding back. She knew Stephanie had epilepsy. Therefore, she sent Stephanie some pictures that, upon seeing them, caused Stephanie to lose her mind and start having epileptic attacks. That same day, her epilepsy medication disappeared from school, and we also know that Emma was responsible. Stephanie didn't get a chance to reach the hospital and recover, and she died. This means that Emma had killed her best friend again. Upon hearing the news of Stephanie's death, Angela's mind went wild. She had seen Emma outside Stephanie's house in the footage and began to suspect that something was wrong. She went to confront Emma about it, but once again, Emma pretended to be innocent and said, "Just because I was in the CCTV footage doesn't mean I kidnapped the dog. That day the dog didn't have a collar around his neck. It could have run away anywhere. I was just putting the collar on it." Her innocent appearance and her innocent words make Aunt Angela think she's wrongly suspected Emma, and she begins to doubt herself. Angela then researches Emma and learns that Emma has antisocial personality disorder. People with this condition don't like to socialize, and when they do, they expect everyone to agree with their opinions and consider them right. If someone doesn't, they harm them. Angela had noticed that Emma had all these traits within her. At home, Robert's nurse asks Emma to take care of Robert because she felt something breaking inside. Emma agrees, but she doesn't take care of him at all. Robert even begins to shiver because of cold. He manages to pull his wheelchair closer to him, and just then, seeing him struggling, a nurse comes out. Emma also gets up and comes closer as if she were coming to help. The nurse says, "Thank you, I'll do it," and she leads Robert inside. Emma starts whistling from behind, and the sound of her whistle makes Robert remember the night of the accident. It was the same sound. It was Emma who was circling close to him. It was Emma who loosened the lever and caused the car to fall on him. As Emma enters his room, Robert tells her, "Enough is enough. Take off your mask of decency. I know the truth, you caused my accident." Emma laughs and denies it, but deep down she knew that Robert's survival was extremely dangerous for her. She didn't know that Angela had also noticed her behavior. That's why she's gone to her old town to visit her uncle. At home, Emma opens her aunt's laptop and learns that she was researching psychopaths. She takes a psychopath test and discovers that she, too, is a psychopath, overjoyed as if she'd won an award. In another town, Emma's uncle tells Angela that his brother, Emma's father, had always said there was something wrong with Emma, but to his uncle, Emma seemed decent. One day he says, "I went to my brother's house and saw him pointing a gun at Emma. I saved her life, but my brother kept telling me, 'You're not saving her life, you're endangering her. If she lives, she'll be a disaster for everyone,' but I ignored him." After hearing all this, Angela becomes convinced that Emma is a psychopath and a threat to her family. It turns out that Angela had left a teddy bear with a hidden camera in front of Robert at home. As soon as Emma picks it up, Angela realizes that her family is in grave danger. She begins calling the nurse, but Emma had already stolen the nurse's phone. She declines all Angela's calls. She even convinces Kat to come to her house, saying, "And come to my house today. I'll tell you the whole truth about what happened to my dad." She also calls a friend, and her motive will be revealed later. Kat arrives at her house, and as soon as she arrives, Emma gives her hot chocolate laced with all of her uncle's sleeping pills. Emma then confesses to Kat about her crimes. She had killed a friend as a child, and then she killed her dad as well. Her mother died at birth, and upon arriving she first killed Stephanie's dog, then Stephanie, and then attempted to kill Robert. Before Kat could take any action, she fainted. Before she faints, Emma called 911. She reported that a girl named Kat was in her house, trying to burn her house down, and that she couldn't control her. Kat was stunned by this. Emma then picked up Kat's phone and deleted all her messages. She then went downstairs, turned on all the stoves, set the house on fire, and then left. Her friend Nathan had arrived outside by this time, and she told him that Kat had done all this, and pretended to be innocent and sat next to him. When Angela returned home, she was devastated by the sight of her burning house. Inside, Robert was there trying desperately to save his child, going upstairs and enduring the pain. But Robert discovered that his son wasn't in that room. This was Emma's ploy to lure Robert to a place where no one could find him. In an attempt to save Robert, Angela, along with Kat, burns to ashes in the house. The police take Emma away and they don't suspect her even a bit. Instead, Emma is shown with sympathy, having lost her second family. The social worker tells her that a new family is ready to adopt her, and Emma makes it clear that Angela's son, Cade, will always be with her, and she will only move to a new home if the family agrees to accept this. Her foster family agrees to this condition. The movie ends, leaving the suspense of whether Emma will allow that family to live with her. Subscribe to Movo Reels, where every movie tells its story again.